What is going on, everyone? It's Nero again. Here for you, some Call of Duty Black Ops 2 playing some Domination. This time on one of the new DLC maps we got with the Apocalypse DLC. This map is called Dig, and it's a reimagination of the classic World at War map, Courtyard. So I did a walkthrough of this map. It's pretty similar to Courtyard, with the exceptions that some of the walls in different areas of the map are higher than what they were, and they've also added a few walls in different areas where previously it was kind of blown out in that area, so you could use that kind of like to peek through the holes in the wall and be able to take people out across the map in that area. There's a couple spots throughout the map where they changed it, but overall, this is still essentially Courtyard. So for this video, we're going to be partying like it's 1944. World at War, if you guys don't know, is a classic World War II game. It is Call of Duty. It was the last time World War II was actually featured in a Call of Duty game. And in that game, all of the rifles, with the exception of one, the STG-44, was a semi-automatic rifle, meaning it's just like the FAL, it's just like the SMR. Every time you pull the trigger, one bullet comes out and you gotta continuously pull the trigger. That game required a lot of accuracy in terms of the rifles. The STG was the only fully automatic assault rifle in that game because it was the first fully automatic assault rifle in history. If you guys don't know, the STG-44 is actually a German gun that was invented by the Nazis, and it's actually the first assault rifle in existence. Then, that kind of laid the foundation for the AK-47, then later on all the other guns. And that's kind of a cool tidbit. I've always found World War II interesting, which is one of the reasons I think that World at War was one of my favorite Call of Duties. But let's talk about this map. Let's talk about it. I do these walkthroughs every time a new DLC comes out. I like to do walkthroughs of the map for a couple reasons. One, subscribers like it. It may not get as many views as like a gameplay commentary, but there's people out there on the PS3 or on the PC or other areas, other forums, where they don't have the maps yet, or even Xbox people, but they don't have the maps yet. And that you can watch gameplays, you can watch people run around and do well, but you don't really get a feel for the map. You don't really get to see exactly how the map plays, how the map looks, and where every single thing within the map is. That's why I like to do the walkthroughs. That, and I learn the maps like crazy. I know these maps inside and out before I even played them in multiplayer, because I've already walked through and touched every square inch of this map with my character in a custom game. So then when I go into multiplayer, I'm like above and beyond people that have already even played the map, because I already know where everything's at, and I kind of have an understanding of how the map plays. And of course, this map being essentially the same thing as Courtyard from World at War, I already had kind of a, shall we say, a step forward for everybody else in this lobby. So I do pretty well in this gameplay, and I think you guys will enjoy it. So I'm going to kind of give kind of a review of this map for this particular gameplay. It's a little bit of a longer one. It's a full-length domination match. And my review for this map is, goodness gracious, the colors. Ouch. It hurts. So what I've done, alright, so I went out, and if you guys caught the video, not a lot of people watched it, but I have a new capture card. It's called the Aber Media Live Gamer HD, and it installs right into your PC, and it allows me to play in HDMI. I wanted to upgrade to an HDMI capture card, because previously, since 2009, I've been using the Apogee HD PVR, which runs on 720p component cables. I wanted to play in HDMI. I wanted to play in 1080p. I've been playing a lot of PC games lately, and I'm used to ultra settings. I'm used to 1920 by 1080, not this 1280 by 720 stuff. So I go out, I get myself a new capture card, which I really like it. It's fantastic, and I go and get a new HD TV. It's a Vizio Smart 1080p television thing. I like it. I really like my TV. And one of the things I did with that TV is I went and adjusted the settings on it, like the colors, the saturation, the sharpness, the contrast, and the gain, and all that stuff. And my TV's colors are awesome. When I watch stuff, when I play games, I watch movies and everything on my TV, it is freaking awesome. I suggest you guys do that. But there's one downside. Because I've upped the saturation, which if you don't know, saturation is basically the intensity of the colors on my TV, when I play on this map, it is ridiculously bright. It is so much brown everywhere. I can't take it, man. I can't. I had to put in a special color correction for this particular video just because I don't want you guys to have to suffer through the same thing I suffered through with all of the brown just kind of blending in. Like, it was really hard to pick out targets on this map as compared to back in World at War when this map was actually Courtyard. Everything was made of stone, so everything was gray. There was a bunch of gray, and there was the ground was kind of a brownish, kind of like it is right now, and there was also some green with the grass. But for the most part, and of course there was like the trim, like the wood trimming on the map Courtyard, and the wood trim was painted red. But that aside, it was very easy to distinguish targets in World at War. It was a lot more difficult to distinguish targets here on the new map Dig. It's a bit more difficult. I think that's mainly because of my television and not necessarily just because of the map itself. But although the map itself is rather brown, there's definitely lots of brown. How does the map play? The map plays pretty similar to Courtyard, but it's very, very hectic. It's very hectic. Black Ops 2, the way the spawn system is set up, and this started in Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2 kind of adapted it. Of course, they changed it a bit, but they've also adapted the same similar idea that the spawn system is a little bit more sporadic and a bit more random than it was in previous years. You think back to Call of Duty 4 Domination, you really had an idea. Those of you who played Call of Duty 4 Domination, especially during its prime, you really have an idea of where the enemies are at all given times, because the spawn system was pretty easy to understand. Same goes for World at War if you're playing War, Domination, or anything like that, and the same goes for Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1. But as for Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2, it seems as though lately, in recent Call of Duties that is, and I really hope COD Ghost doesn't go this way, the spawn system is a bit more sporadic. It is really a bit more sporadic. It's a little bit more difficult to understand. So you'll be seeing throughout this gameplay, or I'm sure you have, because the gameplay is getting closer to the end now, is that the people I'm shooting at, I'm kind of just like always, I get killed, I'm kind of looking behind me a little bit. I'm kind of looking in obscure areas. Whereas in previous editions of Call of Duty, you kill somebody in front of you, you're going to continue to look in front of you. You know, usually your back was good for the most part, unless of course they're flanking. But now they have it so you kind of have to watch your back a bit more just because of the spawn system and not necessarily because of the enemy team, you know, having the smarts and the wits to try and get behind you by themselves. So you got to keep an eye on that. But the map itself does play pretty well. I like it. It's a pretty fantastic map. And I gotta say, I've played all the maps on the Apocalypse DLC. We played last night, and oh man, we were tearing them apart. We really were. It was myself, Just So Hyper, and Foxhound. And it was just the three of us running through. We called ourselves the Army of Three, because every match we're getting like 40 kills, and our teammates were getting like 10. We dominated. We really did. I think since I haven't played Black Ops 2 in a long time, I didn't have any kills or anything on the weekly scoreboard, like the weekly leaderboard. And I checked my weekly leaderboard for Domination when I got off, and I had like a 650 score per minute and like a 5 KD in Domination or something like that, just from playing the new maps for an hour, or I think I might play maybe 2 hours. So I got a pretty good feel for the maps. I played each one of them a couple times. Pod, I think I called it out when I was actually doing the walkthrough of the map. I feel as though Pod was going to be my least favorite map. And I think it is, just from playing it, but we only got to play it 2 times because the community as a whole is kind of determined that Pod is the least favorite of the maps and that not a lot of people vote for it. So if you're trying to get some gameplays on Pod, it's a bit more difficult, but when maps like Frost or Takeoff come on, everyone votes for those. So I'd say in terms of me, like what I would like, I'd probably say Takeoff is number 1, Frost is number 2, Dig here at number 3, and Pod at number 4. And if I had to judge the community's kind of like their opinion on which maps are best, I would say that they like Frost the most, with Takeoff being the 2nd, with Dig being the 3rd, and Pod being the 4th. That's probably how I see it based upon what people vote for in the game. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the gameplay. It was a pretty good one here. Rocking like it was 1944 with a semi-automatic rifle here on a World at War map, and I thought that was pretty fun. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Remember to leave a rating where you guys feel it deserves, and let me know in the comments. What is your guys' favorite map so far? Because opinions change. Of course, they change every time you play the game, especially on new maps. What is your favorite map so far, the Apocalypse DLC? Hope you guys all enjoyed. Remember to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.
I was banging 7 gram rocks, that's how I roll.